Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the OMG Update. My name is Wes.
And my name is Mike.
And we are OMG Auto Media Group, your local creative ad agency. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today's episode is specifically about our video process here at OMG. Now, neither Mike nor myself are Martin Scorsese, so this isn't going to be a master class.
Not even close.
Nope, not a master class on like a feature film process, but when it comes to putting together commercial videos, for organizations and for businesses around the community, this is kind of our process that we go through to make sure that we're delivering the final product that our clients are looking for. Step one of that process really comes down to figuring out what the goal of the video is and what is the medium that we're going to launch that video on. So once we have those two pieces, it really helps clear the rest of the process to understand what are we trying to accomplish. And when I say medium, I'm talking television, social media, website. Where is this video going to end up at the end of the day? Because that context is also really important to us to be able to put together the right end result for that client. And then we try and match up the brand voice and look at the creative angle, which is obviously where Mike comes in.
So yeah, once we have the context, all the kind of background information, that kind of helps us develop the kind of look and feel that we want to portray with this video. Is it going to be more serious? Is it going to be more, lighthearted and playful? Is it going to be an interview style? Context really helps us determine that.
And once we've got those pieces figured out, then we're ready to put pen to paper and we start the scripting process. Now we have copywriters here at OMG, but we also handle some of that scripting process hand in hand with the client. And that's really where we put together the larger outline of what this is going to look like. And it's the first time that the client gets an insight into what is the creative thought process that's going in behind the video. It just helps us make sure that we've got the right initial footing to be able to do the next creative steps, which include putting together the proper visuals and storyboarding.
So after we have the script put together, then we create a storyboard, which is basic imagery that kind of helps us internally see where the video is going and make sure it kind of aligns with that initial, the initial objectives that we're going for. And also we can share this with the client to make sure that it's on par with what they're looking for and just to give them an example of where the video is going.
So between scripting and storyboarding, at this point, we've got a very good idea of what our end product should really look like. And so now we're finally ready for step 5, which is the shoot itself. And this is where a lot of the magic happens. Mike does a really nice job of making sure that the client feels at ease with that shooting process, whether it's an actor that's actually being used for the video or if it's someone within the business or organization to be able to feel comfortable during that process to bring out the best of what the end result is that we're looking for. Like I said, that's where the magic happens. So if we're putting all of these other steps in line and we're doing it properly, that's where everything should come together and really feel like a fun, involved process, and we should have a great end result because of that shoot being aligned correctly.
Part of the shoot day is we also understand there's a lot of unknown variables with this part of the process, and so we understand that there's certain things like weather and there's certain things like day-to-day operations of the business that may change things of the shoot day. So we like to be really flexible with that day and with the execution of it, because we understand, when working with businesses, that there's a lot of things that come up, and so we like to just be flexible and keep things light. We like to put together kind of a basic rough cut of the video and send to the client just so we can kind of show them where things are at, kind of make sure we're on the same page with everything. From there, we kind of keep editing the video, adding, if we're adding more graphics, if we need to reshoot certain things, we can kind of establish that and determine that after kind of the rough cut, and from there, it kind of just keeps getting more and more polished.
And finally, we have a final product, which is really a fun part of the process as well, because now we get to see all of this work come to fruition. We get to see that story come to life that we're trying to help that client achieve. The real question is, are we just handing it over to you as the client? Do you have some way that you're going to be displaying that final product? Or do you need us to handle that ultimate execution of where that video piece shows up? We've got relationships at KYC. Obviously, we're a social media or a digital first ad agency, so social media is one of our main languages, so to speak, and we can of course put together larger campaigns there. All of that falls under the realm of how are we delivering that product to your customers to try and reach that desired goal. That's basically the process. It's a 7-step process, and we found that it's a really successful way to make sure that we're meeting our clients' goals. One of the big questions that we know that we're going to get from this video is going to be, what is pricing? Obviously budgets are always a concern. And I'll just put it out there as this, when we're looking at those shorter videos, if we're looking at 15 seconds or even less, oftentimes the starting price point is right around that $500 mark. Every time that we look at adding another feature, another piece of a video, if we're looking at extending length, all of that adds to the time, which also affects the cost. And so, if we're looking at 30 seconds, 60 seconds, if we're looking at a longer story video, the range really is determined by what are we putting into this video, how much equipment are we using, are we having Mike pull out his drone, he is a licensed drone operator. All of that affects the bottom price, and it can be, if we're looking at a longer video, it can be upwards of $5,000. Those are all pieces that we help determine right off the bat before we get too deep into this process using a free initial consultation, which we urge every customer to take advantage of so that we have a good idea of what we're doing up front, as well as what they can expect as a final result. With that said, we did briefly mention the drone piece, and I think that'll probably be our next episode, is talking a little bit more about what is it like to utilize a licensed drone operator in the greater Mankato area. So if you're interested in that, keep your eyes open for the next episode next week. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you for watching.